All right, here we go. Back, definitely a little more rested. I don't know how long it takes to get caught up in sleep for real. I think it takes a while. Um, I screenshot a bunch of the comments from yesterday's video, and I'm going to read them. I didn't read all of them, but I read a handful, and I screenshot some that I thought, oh, well, let's share them here today and address them in a way, maybe. I don't know. I think a handful of people thought yesterday that I was getting ready to quit doing this or something, or this is affecting me. It's not the case. Kidding, this is one of the easier things that I do in my life is sitting here and sharing people's voices. That's easy. It's just I get caught up, I catch up to myself every once in a while. Understandably. And I know what I do. I know what I do wrong. I know what I do right. And I accept it. You know, I cannot stand wasting time. And I also love doing what I love to do. And I also realize that I probably need about 6 or maybe 10 lifetimes to do everything that I really want to do. And so because of that, I'll just keep going. I'll run myself into the ground, and I do it all the time. And I know that, thank God. And then, just so I understandably, yeah, I'm freaking exhausted. I was probably clinically exhausted a few times this past couple months, but let's face it, I went July, August of 4 o'clock in the morning starts, guiding all day long, and getting to bed around, I don't even know what time. It's a very hard thing to do. Guiding on the ocean for sport fishing on the Pacific Ocean is hard work. Believe it or not. I rarely sit down even once in the whole day. Guilty, sometimes I don't even eat. I just keep ripping and keep going. And then I didn't get caught up in my sleep. And I literally completed all of my guiding days on the water. I came home here for one night. That was it. Packed the shit up, hit the ferry, went across to the mainland, and drove for 2 days, and then camped on the ground, and then went to 3:30 in the morning wake-ups, grab coffee, grab a snack, and then we would quad probably around 40 minutes in the pitch black to get on the mountain nice and early because it was so warm out, and then have coffee for an hour listening for elk, and then do a big hike, and then start working all day long. And then stay out till dark, till last light, which meant you get to bed around 10 o'clock at night once you go back to camp. So I did that for, I think, 10 or 11 days straight. And then came home. And then, of course, I can't help myself. I have to go to the coast and see if I can bugle up some big bull elk in the morning. Get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and do that. But I love doing it. And then we turned around and drove 2 days straight all the way back up north again. And did repeat for 10 days. Whew. And then I just continued driving home for 2 days, and here I am yesterday. Boom. Exhausted. And it got to the point, too, as well, the other night, night before last, I knew I was starting to get to myself, and when I do that, you start getting a little miserable, and I know the signs, and you know what I do? I instantly look up at least hour-long videos on positive affirmations, positive talk. Various people online, and I listen to that to stop myself from being an idiot. Right? You get mentally weak when you run yourself into the ground, but anyway, no. Is this burning me out? This is nothing. You kidding me? From what I do to myself normally? This is nothing. The conversation I shared yesterday, which I had with myself, was honest questions, right? How much of your life are you willing to dedicate to this one topic when there's a whole shit pile of life going on out there that you can't miss out on? And that's why I try to encourage everybody to make sure, above all, make sure you do what you love to do. You have to do that too, right? Don't just stay obsessed with one item, especially one that is so hard to have any kind of control of, none, and dedicate your entire life to it. Creepy, right? That's one thing that I watch. I observe people, right? I watch people all my life. You know, one thing I learned from, sadly, the biggest lesson I learned from both of my parents was what was what not to do with your lifetime. Unfortunately, right? I've gone the opposite direction. I've made sure I don't waste a second and I do everything. And I'm not scared of nothing. So I make sure I do everything. And then you watch other people, how they live their lives, right? I watch people, friends of mine, who are obsessed with sports. They sit in a dark room inside a man-made house and watch a man-made sport. And they watch that puck or the ball go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And they don't miss a game. And they watch it go back and forth, sitting on their ass, back and forth. And then the next year, they do it again and again and again. Not my flavor of tea, but I try not to obsess with one or two things in life. I try to obsess with a whole bunch and not waste any time. I'll tell you what, it'll get to you. It'll get to you if you don't sleep properly, right? I do eat properly, that's one thing. I definitely eat properly. I eat very well. So much so that it doesn't matter where you stop for food away from home. It's nasty compared to home food. Another topic. Now, where was I? Let's get to the screenshots of the questions from yesterday. Where do we start here? There's a whole bunch of screenshots in here, actually. Some might not be related, so I'm just going to read them all so that I can delete them all, because the phone gets loaded up with stuff. Screenshot from the comment section. Hey, Steve, I seen one run across the field one day. This thing was moving so fast, it was unbelievable. I was looking at it through the scope of a 30-06. It got 500 yards from a locked up. Spun around, and it was heading back the other way. By the time you blink, your eye never could spot its head. I've seen a lump, but as far as in a TED. Okay, there's a typo. I've never seen anything move like that in my life. And I've been in the woods almost all my life. There you go. It's a screenshot comment of somebody seeing one of these beings and amazed at the speed. And I've had a lot of people I know who were terrified. The one thing that terrified them the most was the speed. Next one. Steve, having an encounter myself and seeing them, I walked past a tree. A second broke my view of them. Let me read that one more time. There's no punctuation. Excuse me. Steve, having an encounter myself and seeing them, I walked past a tree. A second broke my view of them. I seen two lights like orbs vanish into the woods. I don't think we are meant to understand them. I think they are ancient, and I just think we went separate paths. They tuned to nature, us to technology. We need to leave them in peace. If you're lucky enough to see them, then take the experience as what it is. A minute in time, you saw a man/woman or human-like person of the woods/mountains. God bless, Steve. You're a true gent. Love to you and yours. All right. There you go. Shared. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they definitely don't follow those rules themselves, right? Not looking in windows, taking things, trying to lure children in the forest. They don't follow that rule they suggested. Here's another one. Screenshot from yesterday's video. At this point in the game, I want to communicate with these forest people. When I really start thinking about that becoming a reality, I start questioning myself. I do not want to be tagged or have them visit me at my home. Watching this channel and listening to the stories of the people, I have answered a lot of my own questions. At this point in the game, I don't know if the other questions I have will be answered without looking one of them in the eye and asking them. Even if I have the chance to do that, they may not answer me, or they might lie to me. But my motto is, if you always do what you've always done, you'll always be where you've always been. That's a good one. Let me read that one more time. If you always do what you've always done, you will always be where you've always been. Agreed. Here's another screenshot. A reaction to yesterday's questions. What more do I want to know or learn from the Sasquatch? For myself, I am continuing to learn what natural medicinal plants or foods they use, and if it can be used for human mankind to cure ailments. I already know. Sorry. I already know the Sasquatch physical body is very similar to our own bodies, just more enhanced and bigger. I've learned some of these things, but I know there is a lot more. Yes, I do communicate with certain Sasquatch to learn these things. It's really amazing how common some of the medicinal plants they use. We can also. We just have to study these herbs and plants further to know how much we can utilize without poisoning ourselves. I also know their appendix is a whole lot bigger than ours ever was. In today's human body, the appendix has shrunk to the half size of a thumb, but still does the job it's supposed to. That is, quote, what more I wish to know, and also how to revive gifts/abilities we were all born with. Hope this answers your question on what I want to learn more about from the Sasquatch. And no, I have no desire to find out about other cryptids. I'm more than happy to continue my learning from the Sasquatch. All right. Interesting. Yes, I do communicate with certain Sasquatch. Quote, let us know about those conversations and how smooth they are. Do you go back and forth like we would when you speak? Honest question. There's another screenshot. Steve, you're helping me get beyond the trauma experience from my childhood. That's what I'm getting out of this. I no longer tremble and rarely have heart palpitations just from hearing these experiences. That's what I'm getting out of it besides knowledge. Thank you. Thank you, gift of us. Sorry. Thank you, gift of just hearing and sharing these experiences. It's phenomenally therapeutic for me. Big love and gratitude to you and Sarah. Words are not sufficient to express my gratitude. There we go. There's a big bingo for me for what I'm doing. Love hearing that one. Good. Steve, for me, what more do I want to know? Like you, who they really are, where they're from, etc. The things you mentioned for yourself, but a couple of things I'd really like to know after listening to all the brave people who have shared their encounters here all these years are if the Sabi people are being hunted by humans, who are they, and why? And I believe these questions go together with why are we being lied to and why this subject is being suppressed and for what reasons. Those behind these things need to be exposed, I believe. That's the main thing for me, Steve. I'd like to take the chance here to thank you for being you and what you do for the people here and what you've done for me. Thanks so much. All the best from Cornwall. All right. Appreciate the kind words and appreciate you sending in your comment. Now, was that it? No, I got more. So the question now becomes, why has the existence and capabilities of Sabe been actively downplayed or outright denied? And who is the one guiding the movement to keep the hairy man in the outskirts of society? Keep it woodsy, all you good people out there. Right? Valid. Solid. There's another one. I wish you could have read my story. I sent it in 2 years ago, titled Bigfoot. I have major puzzle pieces I want to put together. My face-to-face encounters over a period of 4 months was with very different looking forest people. They had no human faces, as they were covered in very long hair. You can only see their eyes. Oh, send it again. Send it again. All right? Please, share my story at howtohunt.com. Send it again. Steve, you never mentioned other Bigfoot websites or other Sasquatch organizations, but you just did. Thinker Thunker is much like you. He is after the truth and uses technology to analyze sounds and video. I imagine you know who he is and appreciate his work, or you would not have even vocalized his name. You rarely let things slip, so I must believe you agree with him. Good for you. I think he's sincere and wastes a ton of time and energy on the topic, but also makes bank, as you do. So I guess at this point, I'm wondering if you guys are legit or just built a following for a passive income. You've always seemed sincere, but also a bit naive. I'm going to see if this is a real Squatch. Need my wife to keep an eye on this scroll. All right, well, If you haven't picked up on me and what I do and why I do it yet, you're probably not going to, right? And man, oh man, the amount of opportunities that I have said F you to, which would have made me make big, quote, bank, is a lot. Right? How many times have you heard me? This is the quick lesson. Have you ever heard me say, please, please like, subscribe, and share? Never. You know how many invites I've had to go to these Sasquatch summits? You get paid? No. Anyway, back to the more important Thinker Thunker. You know what? I tried to get a hold of him a couple months ago. Yeah, I appreciate that guy. I think he's very sincere. Sounds like a real cool dude. And I'm interested in how he came about this topic and how he learned his skills. It's very cool to watch his skills, right? Who is he? How did he come about these skills? How did he come about the topic? And I wanted to have a conversation with the Thinker Thunker dude on here. What did I do? I think I went to his website or something. I think I went onto his social media, tried to send messages, and there's nothing there. There's nowhere to get a hold of him for me. So if you guys are into it, or you know him, tell him to get a hold of me. I'm all about talking to him. I'd love to have a conversation with him. I think he's more than likely a very solid dude. And is he making, quote, bank, end quote? I hope so, because he's very skilled, right? Like anybody else. You know, lawyer goes to school for how many years, and he charges hundreds of dollars an hour for that knowledge that he gained and the skills that he shares. I think there's no problem at all for a man like Thinker Thunker to be making money for his craft, right? Now, moving along, here's another one. This practice of hearing each other is healing us. It is sorely needed. Knowing the truth helps us to operate better in the world. We're in some kind of relationship with the earth and other beings, and it is all part of figuring out what to do. We're learning about ourselves and the nature of reality and truth itself. We're learning about sovereignty, facts. Learning about these beings is teaching us about fear, peace, respect, freedom, telepathy, DNA, physics, intuition, critical thinking, cultural deprogramming. I find it beautiful, a sacred journey, a precious brotherhood, again, sorely needed. Who gets to tell us what's true? We do. Who gets to choose how we each see the world? Each one of us. It's a revolution in consciousness. It's important. It's an adventure. Is it? I mean, isn't it an adventure? Holy shit, it's an adventure. And agreed. Here's another one. What more do we need from the topic, you ask? Well, I think this entire topic gets down to origins. Where/how do we and the Sabe fit into life on this planet? Are they even from this planet? Who was first? Us or them? Why are they not communicating and otherwise interacting with any humans? Who or what created us and them? Is there a purpose? Valid questions. Like I said before, I don't think we're going to get to understand anything until we know the truth about us. Right? My end game. I guess my puzzle pieces have come together enough to establish this. Sabe exist, and I don't need anything from them. I don't want to be around them, same as the government. Any dealings with either. I rely on my faith to protect me from any negativity. I consider this channel as hanging with family. They look out for each other, with bringing truth to light. I frequently read comments to see if I can help others with experiences I've lived, or pray for people that need prayers. When my wife went through 12 surgeries in the past 2 years, the Round Table of Knowledge family sent their prayers. I still have her, and have overcome many trials and tribulations. Peace and love to you all. You know, that's great. And another thing too, as you guys realize how many people have been helped from here, right? A lot. We sent a lot of prayers to a lot of people. We've shared GoFundMe links with people who are in absolute tragic positions in life. We have fed a shit pile of hungry children. There you go. Good one. Sorry. Hey Steve, I would like 3 of your stickers, but I was unable to find them in your products. Could you help me? By the way, I'm computer stupid. LOL, thanks. So am I. I don't know why. I think I share the links in the... I share the links to that in the video description. And I don't know if they highlight as blue. You know, usually go into some places and the link is highlighted in blue text. You just click on it. I don't know if I'm doing that right or not. It is see how good I am at marketing and going after quote bank end quote compared to people that really want it. How to hunt store. How to hunt store at howtohunt.com. Hold on a minute. See? Holy shit, you guys. Hold on a minute. Now order it at howtohunt.com is how you get a hold of Sarah. Is it the How to Hunt store? Where does that take me? It does take me to it. All right, what is it? Howtohuntstore.com. There you go. That's where the stickers are. Howtohuntstore.com, right? I know I suck. Oh, where was I? All right. Next, I would like to know what the government knows. Steve, what have you been told that you can't share with us? Thank you for helping the people to get to know these people. But I know where I come from, but I don't know where they come from. Take care. God bless those in the East Coast that are going through hell with little help. Excuse me. What have you been told that you can't share with us? Okay, so I think there's been a handful of people over the years think that maybe possibly I've had my life threatened or I've been intimidated. And how can I say this so that you know I'm being straight up? I swear on all the animals in my family's lives, excuse me, I've definitely had people threaten me. Shit, yeah. I've had lots of douchebags from some of these organizations try to have some kind of a sleazy impact on me. Doesn't work. Doesn't fizzle me for the slightest. I don't fear death. I don't fear anything. And that makes it absolutely impossible to intimidate me into not saying something. That's the honest to God truth. I've had lots of threats, but I think they don't mean anything to me. I don't remember. I've had some pretty funny ones. But I don't remember any that had an impact on me to make me scared or nervous in any way. If anything, I go the opposite direction. I'm like, please come over. Bring it, right? I mean, I had an incident a little while ago I can't share online of something going down out here. Yeah, I won't even talk about it, but let's just say it'll never happen again. I shared, you know, it's funny, I was sitting with 5 RCMP officers on the dock, and I shared, great guys, and I shared that story with them, what I did, and the one, they'll kind of laugh, but because they know that I'm not a violent psycho, but the one of the cops, it was interesting what he first said to me when I shared the story. He goes, "Where's your lineage from?" I said, "Oh, predominantly Norway." And he goes, "Oh, okay, that explains it." I go, "Explains what?" He goes, "How you carry yourself and your reaction." I'm like, really? Odd. I never heard anybody say that before. But anyways, getting back to being threatened or not being able to talk to you guys, not being able to share something with you. The only things that I don't share with you are things that the person who shared with me asked me not to. That's it. The only way you can get me to shut my mouth is out of respect for the people who wish for me not to share. That's it. That's the only way you're going to get me to not share. Threatening me, it's definitely not going to work. It's just not going to work. I'd rather take death than succumb to being scared of some prick. Maybe it's the wrong thing to say or wrong way to carry myself, but that's how I carry myself. So, yeah, that's about it. You know, I still have that video. Still have a video, probably, arguably, it might be the one video that is more significant than the Patty video. Why? Because it's thermal. But the person where that originated from, due to legal, possibly being thrown behind bars, has said, no, don't share it publicly. I'll be sued. So, myself, and I don't know how many people have that video, patiently are sitting with full of respect, waiting for that one day when it says, okay, green light, let her rip. Okay. But in the meantime, I show people. Every single person that came on my boat this summer, showed them. If you guys are listening, you can comment about it in the comment section below to confirm that I shared it with you, but that's about it, right? And so no one has told me something and intimidated me in any way to not share with you guys. Intimidation? Nope. Now, excuse me. Steve, I would like to know what the male side of the DNA is. Also, where do they go when they are not here? If, in fact, they leave this plane. Valid, good questions, me too. I want to know where they go to, if they do go, right? I want to know if we're trapped. I don't know if we've been coerced into being trapped. That's all the screenshots I have, but I want to know. Yeah, I mean, if I have, for me at this stage of the game, if I potentially have a opportunity to experience much, much more, I want it. I want to know about it now. If we are being absolutely, intentionally held back, I'm going to be really pissed off. Right? Excuse me. I don't want to be held back. If I can become better, more free, healthier, do crazy ass things that I've been raised to believe are impossible, I want to know now. I want to know right now. And I want to share with everybody. Right? And I want to kick all those beings who kept that information from us. I want to kick them in the nuts as hard as I can, a few times. Right? So, there we go. There are some questions. I was just singing my way. Try right there. Now I can see my screen better. Now, what do we got? Who do we got? I got an email which relates to my questions as well. And this is saved as not read in the comment section in my notes where I keep the emails. This is titled, this is an email. What am I looking for? You asked. The firecracker guy. Steve, your recent video asked, what do we still need to know about the Sabe? Feel free to share, as many might be searching for the same as I know you are. Quick question before I forget, and I already forgot, and I'll keep reading. While I was driving home, I was listening to CBC radio, which makes me want to vomit because it's government owned, and it's oddly the only radio station you can pick up in your truck when you're remote, driving on the highway. When you're out of reach of all the other radio stations, I don't have that satellite stuff you pay for in my truck. But I was listening to them interviewing the new Canadian astronaut who's going into space, and all the rest of our American astronauts, and apparently they're going to go out and they're going to circumnavigate the moon. Anyway, he mentioned the Sabe in his interview. Go figure. Crazy, right? He mentioned the Sabe people in his interview, the Canadian astronaut who's going up. Okay, sorry. Moving along. I forgot to mention that. Let's start again. Steve, your recent video asked, what do we still need to know about the Sabe? Feel free to share, as many might be searching for the same as I know you are. What do we still want to know? Okay, I'll put my list below. Number 1, where do they come from? Parallel dimension here, Middle Earth, where? Number 2, how are they related to us beyond the maternal DNA? Biblical, alien hybrids, natural? Number 3, why have authorities lied to us? To protect us, to use or adapt their special powers, knowledge? Number 4, why have the Sabe not shared more information with us and push us away when we have a good intention? Suspicious to me. Number 5, what are the Sabe doing here? Escaping their world? Spying on us? Protecting something or one? Vacation, future replacements for us? Number 6. For advanced as they seem to be, why do they eat things that are so disgusting to us? That's a good question. Especially because I've seen and heard of it firsthand. Just the tip of the iceberg, Steve. Think about things. We all have that innate curiosity about many things. Some people just take it farther than others. Some can know a little, and are good with that. Some need more, and some never get past footprints. It is the human condition, that variance that defines each person. The service that you have provided for all is invaluable and shed much light on the subject, but there will always be questions that do not have answers. This is life. For every fact you discover, you get 2 more questions, and so on. This is learning, and that's all we can do. Think how many more subjects out there other than the Sabe that people spend their life searching for answers on. UFOs, dogman, death, and so on. If we knew every answer, wouldn't we be a god? We're just not capable of this. We're just not capable in this form, and do the best we can. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't ask or search for the truth. Just do it in a balanced approach, like you have stated so many times. Enjoy life. Love the best you can and kick ass when need be. I'm no pussy. I've been fighting evil and bullies since I was 14 years old. They are real. And here's what people should worry about. To survive in our world, you now depend on a food chain, fuel chain, medicine, water chain that is controlled by state and corporations. What happens if things stop flowing? 7 billion people can't run to the mountains to survive off venison. Chaos will prevail, and the majority of people will die. Military and gangs will proliferate. The only hope is being able to hide from the hordes, and I won't share how with everyone. This is what people really need to think about. How would you take care of your family? It is coming in one form or another. Sorry for the rant, Steve, and please keep doing what you do. Thanks, man. Robert M. Washington. Okay, man. Good one. There you go. Is that kind of chaos coming? That kind of chaos is in many countries around the globe right now. You can't deny it. It's so brutal. I saw a video clip of a truckload of simple food items being brought to a beach in Palestine, and there was probably thousands of human beings running across that sandy beach towards that truck. No different than chickens in the coop, looking for that one bag of feed coming. And that's in the year 2024. And that's just one war. Imagine how many people, what's going on in the Middle East right now and around the globe is mind-boggling, disgusting, embarrassing as being a human being and watching human beings do this. Like, let's just say if you're watching from a hidden camera from another planet, watching what's going on here, it's pretty embarrassing, isn't it? It's like absolutely shameful. But for people that think it can't happen here, think again. Think again. Imagine how many people in Iran. Israel just dropped bombs in Syria, Iran, Gaza Strip nonstop. Think about how many people are getting blown up right now, which eliminates their power, electricity, instantly. The streets are getting blown up. You're definitely not going to get a linesman and a line trucker is definitely not coming to help you when you phone them. In all those huge cities. Not going to happen. Your water instantly stops. If you rely on refrigeration, it's over. And this is going on right now as we sit here. It's going on. In how many places? Modern cities. Whew. Right? Now, these absolute psychopaths who are in control of our countries are goading and egging on the 2 of the largest military superpowers in the world who have submarines off of our coast, right? Carrying those same missiles and bigger missiles that will absolutely annihilate life as we know it here. That's going on right now. Yeah, what are you going to do? It's a valid question. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What would you do? Just picture yourself being in, I don't know, was it Tehran? Or the capital Israel right now, or wherever, where these bombs are falling down. Think about it, you guys. Your electricity is instantly shut off. Nothing you can do about it. Nobody's going to come fix it. Nobody. Right? Because the devastation is so vast. Nobody's going to come and help you out at your house. Nobody. What are you going to do? Right? I mean, I don't consider myself a prepper or a bunker type person, but I am. I've done everything that I can do to be self-sufficient, and I've covered my ass in every category the best I can, and still live comfortably and not like some paranoid, scared shitless human being. But I watch what's going on in the world so that I can at least have some kind of a heads up and do the right thing instead of sitting there playing on my frickin' video games in the inner city, not having a clue what's going down because I don't want to talk about politics. And then all of a sudden, boom, it's over. Imagine being in that inner city and you lose all your power. You lose everything. Imagine being in an inner city. Shit flies. Even one bomb, whatever. Boom. Uh-oh. Why'd all the electricity in my apartment go off? My elevator doesn't work. My fridge is about the size of a frickin' lunchbox. What do you do now? Right? Didn't have a clue it was even possibly going to happen. Imagine how many people don't have a frickin' clue if it goes down. They don't have a clue. Just going through life like a numb, dumb stick. What are you going to do? Right? You're going to be in the streets fighting over a bag of frickin' bread if you can find it. And that's fact. And that's what people are doing. 2024. Whole nother topic. Obviously, I could babble about it, but I'm good to go. I'll definitely be one of the survivors. That's for sure. Unless I get a bomb on my yard. Better think about it, you guys. That shit's going down. It's going down. Now, I don't even know how long I've been sitting here. I don't really care. I got a shit pile of stuff to do, but we're gonna hear some emails here. We're gonna hear some voices, no matter what. Well, we can. What are you gonna do if the internet died today? Then what? Encounter with Sabe is the title of this email. Yellow Creek, Alabama. Encounter with Sabe. Hello, Steve. My name is Steve Bailey. Please feel free to use my name as you wish. First of all, I'm 65 years old. I've been living here on Lake Weiss. Weiss? W-E-I-S-S. The crappie capital of the world. For 33 years now. Those things are delicious. Fished for them in Alabama last spring. I've been a hunter and fisherman most of my life, ever since I can remember. And very much like you, my grandfather and I were very close. He was 3/4 Cherokee Indian. He raised bird dogs for hunting quail. Men came from all over to buy one of his pups. They're one hell of a bloodline of English setters. I'll always remember him and what he taught me about the woods. He would never kill any animals unless he was going to eat the meat. Very much a southern gentleman in all respects. He taught me to drive in his 65 Chevy pickup, 3 in the trees speed. I remember those when I was 8 years old. Something that always stuck in my head that he told me one day as we were hunting, I asked, "Pa, how did you become such a good shot?" He said, "Son, when I was coming up, we had to eat what we shot, and when you missed, you went hungry." I'll never forget that, with that grin on his face. Fast forward to 2003. My brother and I fished and hunted together a good bit back in the early 2000s. Mostly whitetail, squirrel, and rabbit now and then. My brother loved to fish, but his health was really bad. So I went with him as much as I could. He called me up one evening and wanted to get together and go brim fishing at Yellow Creek on the other side of Lake Weiss. Weiss? Sorry if I mispronounce it. It's just who I am. Where I lived. So I agreed. We loaded up our gear, hooked his 14-foot John boat with a 9-horsepower Merc, and set out to Yellow Creek. When we got there, we stopped at the bait shop, and the guy there said that the brim were hitting really good on live bait crickets. So we got about 4 to 5 dozen to fish with. I backed my brother into launch, took a minute to start the engine, but my brother could fix anything. I parked my truck and trailer and jumped in. By this time, my brother had the motor purring like a kitty cat and we took off. It was about a 10-minute ride to the fishing site close to some falls. We arrived and I dropped the anchor. We got settled on the water and started fishing. We caught one here and there. They really weren't biting very good yet. Time passed and I found a honey hole with big bluegill, big enough to fill it. I was at hog heaven. My brother just put his pole down and watched, just grinning like hell. He really got a kick out on wearing those brim out. Excuse me. All of a sudden, big rocks started landing around the John boat. And I'm not talking small rocks. They had to be the size of soccer balls, almost hitting the boat. Steve, we were 50 to 60 yards from the shore, and we could clearly see, frogs. We were 50 to 60 yards from the shore, and we could clearly see anything on the bank. My brother tossed me his binoculars and said, "Look around and let me know if you could see anything." My brother had his .44 mag pointed at the bank. The rocks kept coming. The doctor had told my brother he had maybe 3 years left to live, but he wasn't afraid of shit. He was a hell of a shot. He said, "Steve, do you see anything?" I said, "Man, I don't see anything. There's no damn way a human could throw rocks like that far." We were so freaked out by this, we had a fear like never before. My brother would have killed whatever it was with no problem, man or beast. I said, "Let's get the hell out of here." I thought we were going to die. If one of those rocks had hit us or the boat, it would have been bad. My brother put his .44 down in his holster and pulled on the rope to start the motor. The rocks kept coming. We were so damn scared. I'd never seen my brother like that. Pulled on the rope, and on that rope wouldn't start. I grabbed a paddle and stroked as hard as I could out of the line of fire, still scared to death. Finally, he got the motor to crank, and we got back to the boat ramp. We loaded up and hauled ass. And on the way back to my brother's house, he said, "Don't tell anyone what happened because they won't believe us anyway." Such a bizarre trait that most of us carry, isn't it? Drives me bonkers when I hear that. It's hard for a grown man to tear up unless something that you can't understand happens to you. I've never returned to Yellow Creek since that happened. My brother and his son went back to camp and fish. He called me the next day and said something in the night came through their camp and ran them off. He said he left all his stuff there till the next day. He carried his .44 mag and his shotgun with slugs with him. I want to go over there with a camera and a pistol and just walk around some. I told some people about this and they looked at me like I had monkeys coming out of my ass. No one believes until this shit happens to them. I heard you say you loved Alabama. That's good to know. To me, it's the only free state left. If you're ever around Cedar Bluff, Alabama, you'll always be welcome at my house. Thank you, Steve, for having a site that is for the people to share their experiences with us, Abe. P.S. You really learn a lot when your grandfather and grandmother raised you. Thank you, Steve Bailey. All right, man. Thank you. Oh, itchy in here. Dust. And there you go. I tell you what, I'll always be down there eventually. I just don't know when exactly. But if I'm down there and you're nearby, I'll give you a ring for sure, my man. Even take me there and we'll go walk around and see what's up. But I don't think you're going to need any weapons. Now, getting back to why do they not want us to know? I think for me, for my ride so far, I think the main reason is the control. I think that we're controlled. If you don't think we're controlled, just go try to go travel somewhere. Just go try to do whatever you want. Legally. Okay, wait, I'm babbling. Hold on a minute. Back to what I was getting at. I believe that if the main group that is controlling us were to have any part in delivering these truths about these people, what they can do, I firmly believe that would start to unravel all the control they've managed to impose on us to date. That's why. unravel. I believe that if this truth got out mainstream, all the absolute facts, the school system would crumble. Thank God. And much, much more. Everything would crumble. Everything that has been delivered to us intentionally since that first time we leave our mother's arms and go into that room with a stranger saying, repeat after me or you're going to fail, right? It's all going to crumble. And then what? So let's just say it all did crumble. Who's going to benefit from that? Us? It's going to be confusing. It'll be a confusing state for a while as everybody's trying to freak right out at their new reality, trying to accept it, make sense of it, probably losing their shit because they didn't want to have this happen. Oh my God, this can't be happening. Well, what's happening? Right? What would happen? That'd be a lot of chaos, wouldn't it? Think about it. If we were allowed to have all of the truths, yeah, this whole system's gonna frickin' rip apart at the seams. Does that scare me? Nope. It doesn't scare me. Would it scare the majority of the population? Absolutely. Absolutely. What good would come from it? I'll bet world wars would stop instantly. I'll bet you that would stop instantly if everything came unraveled right now and we were to learn all of the truths. Anyway, enough babbling. I still have another huge bag of meat from the first elk that I had to take out of the freezer when I got home so I could start cutting that up. I cut up the back straps myself and package them because you get charged by the pound when you take your game or anything to the butcher. As soon as it comes in the door, they weigh it. Boom, there's your weight, bones included, trim included, and you get charged by the pound. So I take those rib rolls off and I cut them into different packages and I wrap it myself. And I also cut my own back straps up and package X. It's absolutely easy. I'm just not familiar with all of the cuts to do it with confidence with the hind quarters. And I don't have the time right now. I know it's easy. And I don't have a grinder for making burger. And with all the shit on my plate, it's just easier for me to get the butcher to make the burger. Cut all those other ones into steaks. Although I did request to leave the shoulder blade in the shoulder as one great big hunk because I love that roast. So good. Shoulder blade in roast. Love it. It's big, I know, but it's good. And then after that, I will continue hunting again at the end of October. And then I will be coming home with probably 2 deer. And then those deer will go into jars and sausage. There you go. I guess I'm babbling again, aren't I? So I have to go cut some meat up right now and then carry on with all the stuff I'm behind on. But I will be back, and no, this isn't burning me out. This is like too easy. Sit here, have coffee with my friends, family, and share people's truth, which people don't want me to do. That's a big incentive for me. As soon as you tell me I can't do something, I'm going to do it 10 times more than your worst nightmare. So, yeah, I'm not quitting. I'm not quitting this. All right, here we go. Have a great day. Make sure you do what you love to do. Speak the truth. Don't be scared of shit. And you better keep tabs on what's going on in the world right now. If you're not, and especially if you have children, you're being very, very irresponsible. Later.